Warning: this program contains strong language, auditory violence, and mental nudity. It is intended only for mature audiences. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome to your uncensored home for World of Warcraft news and opinions. This is Unshackled Fury.
The seeds have been sown as the future of Warcraft is taking root, and we wait with bated breath for the fruition of our future. So welcome back for episode 143 of your uncensored home for World of Warcraft news and opinions, Unshackled Fury. I'm your host, Berserker, and I'm riding solo this week as Mr. Jez Gordon is out on assignment. You know, working man. So on this episode, we're talking kiss cams, hero talents, literary updates, the legacy of one Steve Denuser, and finally, those trading post ratings that you all seem to love. But first, in the last episode, I left off with a note about a friend of ours from our raid team from the Warcraft community who had passed several months ago, and my leadership team and I were heading out to Colorado to see his family and to see other members of our team and to get together and remember this great man that was Rasklin. And you never know what you're going to get when you meet these internet folks in person. It's one of the reasons why BlizzCon is fun, but it's a little crazy. You're like, you don't know what you're gonna get. I would say for the most part, and I'm not the one to judge. Anybody that has met me, I guess, would be the better judge of this. Is I feel like for the most part, what you get on here is who I am in person. Might be a little more amplified, so to speak, on the podcast, because I think that serves a bit of a purpose. But I'd like to think for the most part, what you see is what you get. And I was so pleasantly surprised to not only see the folks that I know, but to meet folks in person who I've known through Warcraft, but mainly over Discord and in-game for years. And to meet them and to find out, that they're such great people as well. It was a sad event, and the purpose for all of us getting together was sad. But to get together with our real life selves, these people that I've known for years, one in particular I haven't seen in goddamn near a decade, to see all these folks in person, if even for a day, even if for a few hours, to go out and have dinner and to tell stories and all of that. It's just, this community really is something special. And I also got to learn a lot about the man that we lost and find out that he was every bit as amazing as we had figured. Super smart, well-read, a jack of all trades. Just what an incredible human being. And in a way, I'm sorry that we did not get to know all of these things about him while he was still alive to celebrate those things with him. But it was fantastic. And then, of course, after that, got together with friend of the show, Allie, and her husband, Sniper. And we went out and to, get together and get some drinks and hit up this awesome arcade bar out there near Denver. and went to another place for an excellent burger that I made myself in a, here's all the things that I want on it. Of course, had to call it the Berserker. I don't know if they'll put it on their menu. I doubt it, but it was delicious. And getting to see them as well, just great people, honest to goodness, down to earth folks, no bullshit. It's a welcome respite, dealing with these sorts of real life situations. Of course, as soon as I got back from all this travel, unfortunately, my last grandparent, my grandmother passed away after 91 years and very full years. She was a very practical person, so she would be, more or less fine if she understood the situation. That she lived a very full life and left us with a hell of a legacy. And so dealing with that throughout this week and moving all of the stuff out of her place yesterday and moving it to essentially a storage spot makes for long days. And once again, a reminder of how much you need to enjoy these good times with good people, and Warcraft hopefully being a good refuge for all of us in those moments. Hell, I just jumped on a little bit earlier, and I did not realize that just as a regular ass human warrior, I could play through the Minari Eldar quest line. And I just started it earlier today, and I'm like, oh, this is fantastic. It's all that kind of stuff. Maybe not even the big, huge storyline deals, even just some of the side stuff that you find in Warcraft. It's just completely forget about all the other bullshit going on in the world, and find myself continually appreciative of this time and place and all of you out there that make this community so great. And for you fine community, I have an all-time epic old school metal classic for you, released on July 24th, 1990. Your metal album of the week is Cowboys from Hell by the legendary Pantera. Pantera, who was huge in the 90s. Unfortunately, very tragic. The lead guitarist, Daryl Abbott, Dimebag Daryl, he was killed. They were playing a concert, and a guy was at a bar, and a guy shot him and killed him, and it was very sad. And his brother died just a few years ago. Very famous stories about Dime's funeral. Eddie Van Halen buried him with one of his guitars, one of his famous ones, and the casket's full of Crown Royals, it's gonna break all the stuff trying to get the casket in the ground. It's epic dudes. And now they're back out on tour. Favorite of this show and personal hero, Zakk Wylde, stepping in for Dime, who was his very good friend. They're back out rolling. But Cowboys from Hell, you kind of forget, at least I do, how old this album is. 1990. You think about back then, it's just this hitting the landscape, unbelievable. And the tracks here, some epic metal, classic metal tracks. This is stuff that's influenced people through today. Cowboys from Hell coming out right away, but some of my favorites and some of the more popular ones as well. Cemetery Gates, Domination, which that's one that I always blast at the old ladies in front of my grocery store. And The Art of Shredding, phenomenal work. And think about 1990 and sort of where metal was coming out. Metallica, shit, they hadn't even put out, I believe they hadn't even put out the Black Album when this hit. Now, when you look this up, if you look at the album art, it's not good. It's probably the worst Photoshop I have ever seen on any album ever. It's just, nobody looks right. Phil Anselmo looks like he's in another universe, trying to jump on a bar, but it looks wrong. Dime's shredding, but you can tell it just somebody clipped this out and laid it down and then just took a photo of it or something. It's awful. It's god awful. But that's, listen, that's 1990. That's how that goes. So that is your metal album of the week. A classic, a true classic. Take it with you wherever you go. It's good in every situation. Cannot go wrong. So, having just traveled, listen, if you travel, you got something to rage about. You know I do. So let's go.
Let's rage.
So if you've seen me in person, as some people have, you know that I am not a small person, regardless of my ever fluctuating weight. Being 6'1", taller than the average person. But I'm definitely wider shoulder to shoulder than the average person, and yeah, definitely carrying some mass with me these days. In fact, pretty much all days. And so, as you can imagine, the flying is a challenge. It's a challenge. But I always try to be respectful of the people around me. I recognize that, if you're sitting next to me, we're probably going to have to figure out the armrest situation. I always try to sit on the end. I never sit in the middle. It's usually the window so I can press up against the wall of the airplane and kind of get out of the way. Leg room, no. Most of the time, non-existent. But I try to be respectful. I try to recognize that there are not only people to my left and to my right, maybe, but perhaps there might be people behind me. Because if there is one thing that drives me crazy on a plane, being a big dude, is when the person in front of me says, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to throw this seat back as far as it'll go. I don't give a shit who or what is behind me or what they're doing. I'm just going to throw it back, bang away, and just keep bouncing on it to see if I can get even more of my room to go back, even more space, even more lean. Fuck that person behind me. I don't care. Drives me crazy because when you already are in a situation where extra room is at a premium, having some monkey ass motherfucker bouncing on a chair, throwing all the stuff off your little tray, you can't see anything if there was a little TV on the back of it. It just, have a little goddamn common courtesy. Lean it back a little bit. That's fine. But slamming it back all the way, no warning, not even listen, turn around, ask the person behind you, say like, hey, is it cool if I lean this back a little bit? A little courtesy goes a long fucking way, people. A little goes a long way. And there is only one way that I've found to get out of this, which is to make sure that I upgrade my seat. That's it. I have to spend extra money to get away from it. And it is a first world problem, no doubt. But it's the inconsiderate folks that just slam that fucker back and keep slamming it, and they're like, it won't go back for. I don't know. I'm gonna keep. No, I'm gonna go up. No, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go up. No, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna bang back. Bang, 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 bang. Those type of people, they just need to be thrown out the airlock. That's it. I think that might be the only solution. So, if you're traveling, if you're on a flight, if you're on a plane, just have a little courtesy for the people around you. Please. Like I said, a little courtesy goes a long way. So with that being said, definitely got some news I want to touch on this week. So let's get into it. So the last episode kind of ran out of time with Jez. And so I wanted to just rewind just a touch because we're at a spot now where Seeds of Renewal has been out for a little bit. Things have definitely quieted down. News has slowed. Coming out of the layoff news, you don't want to announce anything big on the heels of that because you just look completely shitty. So we're still kind of waiting to see when things are coming next. We have a roadmap, right? They did give us a 2024 roadmap. And in the wake of the layoffs, Holly Longdale did put out a long post about, hey, listen, we're committed to this roadmap. This is what we are doing. Heartfelt feelings to the community, and love all you guys and hugs and all that stuff. So we know roughly when things are coming, but it's been a little dry on the news side. But what we do know is that the next thing coming is supposed to be this sub patch, half patch, mini patch 10.2.6, which is marked on the roadmap with just a skull and crossbones flag, which seems to indicate to everybody's minds something piratey. And in her little write-up, Holly said this about that upcoming patch. She said, for the 10.2.6 patch for Dragonflight, we created what we think is a unique event inspired by past musings from the community. So, pirate, PvP, something, my guess. We can say that it is open to anyone with a WoW subscription if they want to participate, Classic or Dragonflight players. That's all we're going to say. Sorry? Not sorry? Our goal is to continue to keep it secret and keep it safe. The speculation is great. We watched the reaction to the surprises in Season of Discovery and thought we'd try a similar but different approach to Dragonflight. Interesting. This means there will be no PTR for a portion of the next content update as we have traditionally done. What we can say is that it will be coming in March. Finer point, the update will also include everything that's needed for Dragonflight Season 4, but will be hidden around and parenthetical after the launch of the update. We will make Season 4 available for testing on a 10.2.6 PTR before it goes live. Why are we doing this? We like the idea of releasing content that has some surprises and isn't data mined or revealed in advance. God bless you, Holly. That's why I love you so much. We also like to see the joy the community gets out of uncovering it all together as they all jump into play. We look forward to seeing if the community likes this type of surprise and look forward to hearing your feedback. This is risky experiment. This is risky experiment. This is a risky experiment and could be a bit bumpy, though we are doing everything we can to ensure success. Then it goes on a little bit, and then she says, with gratitude and excitement for the new memories we create together. All right. So, interesting wording here. We can say that it is open to anyone with a WoW subscription if they want to participate, Classic or Dragonflight players. Why both? Why both? Is it because there's something that's going to happen to both? Is it something that somehow, I don't know, Classic or Dragonflight players? That seems to be a big tip of the hat to me. Like functionally, mechanically, why would it matter if you had a Classic or Dragonflight sub? Why would it matter? Something separate, perhaps? Interesting. But whatever it is, we'll find out in March, which is pretty much in a week. So this lull should not last for long, and whatever it is, hopefully it's super awesome, or fun or cool or whatever it is, because yeah, the droughts are never fun. We knew it was going to be a little bit of a lull here, and that's where we are. So interesting wording on this, and appreciate they're keeping it hidden, but whatever it is, this does seem like it looks like it would be something different altogether, and whatever that materializes as, I guess we'll see. One other thing that came out of Seeds of Renewal that I wanted to mention, if you haven't seen it, I thought it was pretty cool, that we talked about before, the story of Seeds of Renewal and what had happened, and there was the big cutscene with Malfurion and Tyrande, and she runs and jumps in his arms, and they swing and kiss, and it's a whole thing. Well, it was even more a whole thing than we realized, because the World of Warcraft Twitter account put out one of their Building Azeroth videos, about 2.5 minute video, with Taryn and with Taryn Gregory and another one of the cinematic leads who talk about essentially how they put all of this together, and that it required a whole different level of tech in order to make the sort of the camera rigging and everything else to make that kiss look real and to look, more realistic in that way, where it wasn't just a bunch of characters colliding together and clipping through each other and looking weird. And apparently there's quite a bit of work that goes into building something like this. So always great to hear Taryn talk about how they do what they do. But this in particular, it was a great moment. If you've been playing this game forever, if you've been around for the 20 years, to see, these two characters come together, have their moment, swing around, have their big kiss, it's a feel-good moment. What the fuck? Why not? We're about to head into some shit, folks. The World Soul Saga is going to be big and heavy and major, and it's these kinds of light moments I'm just going to try to enjoy because they're going to be few and far between for the next handful of years. But to get to see a little bit more of the inside of how they do it with their sort of sketch drawings and the little pre-animation thing that they do, always great to see that, and a lot of fun. So if you haven't seen it, I think they released this back on Valentine's Day, but the World of Warcraft Twitter account, the Season of Renewal, what do they call it? The Kiss, I don't know, Kiss Cam. Kiss Cam technology video. It's out there, so check it out. On that note, speaking of story, swig of water there for the working man. We have an update about old Stevie Denuser, who, as we talked about last time, just sort of up and disappeared. At least for us, at least on our side. That we found out in November. Apparently he left Blizzard, and there was no statement, there was no hoopla, nobody said anything. Although it has now become painfully obvious that there were a lot of people who knew but just didn't say anything. Well, it was PC Gamer who ultimately was the winner in the Steve Denuser interview contest, because they were the ones who got to ask him about what exactly happened, what were the reasons for his departure. And there's been a lot of guesses, that he got forced out, or that he knew something about the layoffs, or there was some other thing. People didn't like the story and they blamed him for it, and all kinds of reasons, right? He was too much of a Sylvanas simp. All these things. He put himself in the story as Nathanos. Essentially, what he's attributing it to seems like, on the outside, a couple of things. One, been working on the same thing a long time, did not feel like he wanted to keep going, wanted to try something new. He's been working on the same game for 8 years, and that was long enough. Other item, as has been talked about many times in the past, the return to office protocol that Blizzard has been essentially enacting. And he does not live in California. He doesn't live in Irvine, doesn't live in California, doesn't even live anywhere in the West. As I understand, he lives like in Minnesota or something. So being able to continue teleworking, that was also, and just from my personal experience, is probably one of the biggest reasons why you would not want to continue on, because sure, you got your life and you're all set there, and moving to California is an expensive proposition. And if you were here and you leave, I think it's even harder to come back. So that was the reason from the outside. That's the sort of official thing. And I thought Wowhead, to give them credit, did a fairly decent little write-up of things that he touched in his time working on World of Warcraft. The Marksmanship Hunter artifact questline in Legion, some of the original Allied race quests, the Old God Whispers that I know people really love, lots of in-game books, the Stay a While and Listen scripts, and of course the Nathanos and Sylvanas relationship, which, you know, he put a lot of his heart and soul and himself into, perhaps. But now, of course, we're also, I don't know. I've noticed people kind of turning on Dragonflight over recent months and like, oh, I don't know, the writing really is bad. It's not good. After celebrating Dragonflight. And maybe it's the comparison to, I don't know, the expansion that shall not be named, Shadowlands. But there is definitely a review that is happening, analysis, you know, what do they call that? Oh, my brain is failing me now. You know, an autopsy of the Denuser era, you know, one of these kinds of things where, what was he responsible for? What did he do? And there's a lot of videos out there and a lot of forum posts and Twitter posts, and there's opinions ranging all over the place. For me, it's the worst thing since, you know, the Black Plague to, you know, maybe it wasn't that bad. One of the, I think, better synopses and deep dives into this was by Taliesin and Evitel. Taliesin, who admits fully that they've known for months. They have pretty good sources over there at Blizzard, and they wanted to respect Steve's privacy or whatever, so they didn't say anything. Which, you know, good on them, because I don't know too many people that would have sat on that knowledge that Steve Denuser, the lead narrative guy, was out. So, and in it, in the video that Taliesin and Evitel put out, Taliesin does the talking here about the things that Steve Denuser was responsible for, most likely given the timelines, and what he was or was not guilty of. And I would say that for the most part, I think my opinions fall very much in line with what was talked about there, where we know very well about the Afrasiabi problems and how he just wanted these holy shit moments, and Sylvanas was going to go bad. And I didn't know this because I don't have a bunch of sources at Blizzard, but apparently the original plan was for Sylvanas to die at the end of BFA or at some point in BFA. Like, all of this was leading to her being taken out. Afrasiabi gets bounced, and the Blizzard upper echelon say, no, we can't kill her. She's too valuable. That's like, I don't know, an entity you could put on a t-shirt, I guess. But story folks were told, you cannot kill her. So whatever they had been working towards, which was obvious in BFA, like, of course she was going bad, way bad, evil bad. And they had to make that turn to come around and like, no, she's in league with something else. That was a course correction that had to be made, which did not sound like it was on Steve. And I sit there listening to this, and I think to myself, there's no fucking way. Like, you come in, you hand me this horse shit, and then you tell me, wait. But this big thing that you're building toward, nah, you can't do that. You can't do it. We got to keep it to sell t-shirts and pins, because all the little, you know, all the little ones that go to the Darkmoon Fair at BlizzCon, they stand in line for 9 hours for a fucking Sylvanas pin. So nope, we got to have that. Can't get rid of that. Jesus. So they have to change course, head into the Shadowlands, which nobody liked. I mean, there are things to like, but nobody liked. The Jailer, the most bummiest bum that ever bummed in Bad Guy Land. Totally a Denuser creation, and yeah, that was a big flame out. The Arthas thing, you know, I don't like it. I thought that was just disrespect, but understand how some people could be cool with it. The whole Sylvanas arc, I thought they ended it probably about as well as they could have. And then we head into Dragonflight, where I think Dragonflight is great. I don't have all the problems with the writing and people like, oh, everybody's a fucking script supervisor now. knows how these things are supposed to work. It's a video game. It's supposed to be a little cheesy here and there. Like, come on. I think people being too hard on it, and now it's a lot of this revisionist history. Well, maybe it wasn't so great all along. It's a good expansion. It's a fun story. It's a lighter story. It's more familial. It's more touchy-feely. Like, I get that. And for some people, they don't want that. But coming out of Shadowlands, coming out of the pandemic, coming out of the era in which we lived at that time, I'll take it. Because we're heading back into some dark times. And you need, like the hero's journey thing, right? Like, you need the highs, you need the lows. And this was a friendlier point. This was a higher point. So I give it to Steve. Apparently, he's the one who pitched the whole Dragonflight, Dragon Isles adventure. And I think it was a good one. It's a place we've always wanted to go. These are characters we wanted to see. We got introduced to some fantastic new ones. Riddicron, the Incarnates, Brock. That's all him. Right, that's all him. Last time I checked, everybody likes that stuff. So, I think credit where credit's due on that one. I think credit where credit's due. He came in at a time when things were really bad, and not all of it's going to be great. But I think he did a good job there. And I got my boy back. I got Metzen back. I'm so excited for the World Soul Saga. But I think overall, Steve Denuser did all right. And, would I write myself into the story as Varian's secret son? I might. If I was in charge, yeah, fuck it. Would people hate it? Of course. Would it be self-serving? Absolutely. But, if you're in one of those positions, why the fuck not? So, that, in the end, is the real answer. Steve Denuser is just wanting to stay home and do something different. And, I can't fault the guy for that. So wherever you are, good luck, Steve. And thanks for all the fish. Moving on to what is coming up more with him. We talked a lot about hero talents. We got to see Mountain Thane for Warriors and a few others. And Blizzard released a blog post a few weeks ago looking at the Druid, Hunter, Mage, and Priest hero talents. The Priest hero talents, Oracle, especially turned into a really great exercise in community feedback where the community fucking hated a lot of the stuff that was in there. And credit to Blizzard, they have already turned around and said, hey, we hear you people. We're going to make some changes because this is just not what we want. This is not good. But within that same post that they put out, they talked a lot about their design philosophy, which is something that, we don't get into a whole lot. We hear some stuff at BlizzCon about that, but we don't really hear a lot about, here's what we wanted. Here's what we're thinking here. Here's how we're choosing these talents, all of this kind of stuff. And one of the things that really stuck with me is that they want to make, I'm going to read this sentence here. This is what I like here is, we'd like to say on the team that our goal for Hero Talents gameplay is for them to make you, quote, what you are, but more. What you are, but more. And that really is, I think, a solid base to come from. Solid base to come from. And I know that there's always going to be people that parse out, well, if you go down this route and these talents, it's going to punch out this much more DPS or this, much more healing or this much more survivability or whatever. Like, there's always going to be a best scenario for a certain task. It's almost impossible not to have something like that. But I appreciate what they have to say here about where they're not really trying to add a whole bunch more buttons or some kind of crazy thing. They're just trying to make whatever you are more. So it got me thinking. You know, for Warriors, especially for Fury, we're gonna have 2 tracks: Mountain Thane, which we've seen a little bit of already, and Slayer, which we have not yet seen. So as, you know, the resident Fury Warrior expert around these parts, representative thereof, I don't know if I know everything, but I think I'm a pretty good representative of the Fury community. I think to myself, you know, how could I be more what I am but more? What I am but more Fury Warrior, Slayer. I think to myself, what makes a Fury Warrior? Good Fury Warrior. What is a hallmark? Weapons. Shoulders. What we gotta have? Obviously, bigger weapons. Something that makes them bigger. Shoulders, way bigger. Crushing my face bigger. Could you put truck nuts on the hilts of a sword? You could. I don't know if it'd be for me, but it would definitely be more for some. What else? What else makes us what we are? So, it's got to be bloodier. Going into battle, wreaking havoc, just soaked in blood of our enemies, running wild. Right? Something bloodier, something bigger. It has to be something called Berserker. Something Berserker. Berserker this, Berserker that. I don't know. Berserker Wild. He's just, I don't know. Your haste gets to a certain point, and all of a sudden you just, I don't know, turn into the fucking Tasmanian devil, start going ape shit. I don't know. There's a theme in my mind, and I can't quite put my finger on how to say it. I wonder. I'm trying to think of what it is. You know what it is?
The Doomslayer.
You goddamn right. One more time for the people in the back.
The Doomslayer.
The Doomslayer. An unstoppable killing machine. That's what we are. That's what we are. That's the fantasy, right? That is what we do. That is what we embody as Fury Warriors. So I think to myself, man, I hope somebody in there is thinking along those same lines. And we're going to find out. And that is the criteria by which I will judge. And I rarely, be honest, I rarely give a lot of feedback on these kinds of things because technically I am not the most proficient. But this one I might have a little feedback about. And you should too. Whatever your class, whatever your spec, it is clearly apparent that Blizzard is taking your feedback and putting it into play. Pun kind of intended. So whenever you see yours, get out there, take a look, play it, see if it makes sense, whatever it is. And, hopefully heading into the War Within, we'll be in a good spot to start with, and it won't be 6 months of people bitching about their talents. And I mean, that's going to happen anyway, but, maybe that'll be more reasonable. Hard to say. But when they come out, take a look, get ready, have some fun. We're all nerds, but for you, like super nerds, book nerds. Oh shit, that's me. Damn. All right. For all of us book nerds out there, we have some literary updates in the Blizzard arena, starting with the next book in what is inarguably one of the greatest book series in all of gaming, the Exploring Azeroth series, which, I don't know how you surpass the perfection of Northrend, but World of Warcraft Exploring Azeroth Islands and Isles is now available for pre-order. They're expecting the release to be October 1st, so still a little ways away, but I like the lens through which this is being pitched, and let me read this to you. Betwixt the sweeping seas of Azeroth, islands and isles await, bursting with splendid treasures, powerful artifacts, enchanted armor, and rousing tales from ages past. With duty delaying their honeymoon for years, first Arcanist Thalyssra and Lord Regent Lorthamar Theron finally resolved to set sail, seeking the perfect setting to celebrate their love. Join the happy couple as they travel to distant shores, scouting for the perfect sunset and learning that it is the journey and those with whom we share it, except for the asshole pushing their seat back in an airline, that should be cherished most. From the magnificent Suramar and the lush jungles of Zandalar to the rugged seas of Kul Tiras and the verdant beaches of the Dragon Isles, exploring Azeroth islands and isles is your next step in a charming voyage across Azeroth. Splendid. These are always great, and clearly they are looking to kind of wrap up and catch up to where we are. Is the expansion that shall not be named going to get one? Doesn't sound like it. Nobody wants to explore that. It's also not Azeroth, so there's no Azeroth to explore there. But that is an interesting way to kind of like push past it. Like, oh no, well, just island, just straight BFA, straight into the Dragon Isles. And forget about the interlude. Nobody honeymoons there. If they are, they're fucked. So, not in a good way. So that is now available for pre-order. Exploring Azeroth Islands and Isles, coming out October 1st, 2024. We also have, which in my opinion may be the most interesting of the three items I'm going to talk about today, World of Warcraft, The Voices Within Short Story Collection. Now, I am the type of reader where I love short stories. I love short stories because they're not burdened with world building in the way that like I need an explanation for everything. Every character has to have some long detailed history. Every setting has to have a before and a during and an after of 10,000 years. Like, you can do some wild shit in a short story. I'm just speaking generally out there in the world of fiction, particularly. You can do some wild shit, and it's fun, and it can blow your mind, and it can surprise you, and it's a really great form of storytelling, I think. Now, this will be tied, of course, to the canon and the lore of World of Warcraft, but I always love these little snippets, little dives into things, and of course, you know what at least one of these, you know who at least one of these is going to be about, but I'm going to save that one for last. So, this says here on Amazon, enhance your experience of the War Within, the first expansion in World of Warcraft's World Soul Saga, with this immersive short story anthology featuring an all-star cast of best-selling and award-winning authors. You know Christy Golden's in this, of course. From deep... Oh, and she's even doing the best one. From deep beneath the surface of Azeroth, a mysterious voice cries out for heroes. But before these brave souls heed the call, they must answer to their own voices within. And the four examples they give here are Andrew Robinson takes Gazlowe. Hey, Gazlowe. Just was asking about him, I believe, in the last episode. Takes Gazlowe to a struggling goblin city where he aims to inspire its citizens to more worthy ambitions. Thrall, next one. Thrall grapples with his son's coming of age in a heartfelt story by Jonathan Mayberry about what it means to love and let go. As the son of, or the as the father of a son coming of age in that way, that might hit a little closer than I'm anticipating. Next one, Delilah Dawson gives voice to Alaria Windrunner, desperate to connect with her son in a tense, bittersweet journey home. Those Windrunners are everywhere. And it's actually the one listed first, but I'm reading it last because I'm so excited about it. Anduin's wanderings at last lead him to the solitude he seeks until his peace is shattered in a heart-rending tale by Christy Golden. Oh, man. It's going to fuck me up. I know it. These tales, besides more from Catherine M. Valenti and Courtney Alameda, I think, who just wrote the last book, portray the poignant, introspective moments set to precede World of Warcraft's highly anticipated The War Within expansion As these larger-than-life heroes grapple with their next steps, a greater threat looms, one that will lead them to raise arms again to fight for the fate of Azeroth. Despite the chasm of varied backgrounds, allegiances, and choices that divide them, these tales prove that even in the darkest times, home unites us all. Sick, gotta save Azeroth. What we do, baby. You know I'm excited about this, and you should be too. These short stories, that was one of the other things that Steve Denuza got kind of dinged on, was lore being told outside of the game in story form. And again, I don't know how much control these people have over this stuff. I don't know if there'll be something super important to the actual expansion in these, but man, I love the additional context to be able to see into these characters' minds as they're heading into these situations that we're about to play through. I dig it because it gives that more robust, right? That more robust vision of like, what are we doing here? What's going on? So that one, the World of Warcraft, the Voices Within short story collection, not due until November 5th, which, given the timing of when we're supposed to get the War Within expansion, I'm not sure. I'm not sure how that timing works out. This looks like a BlizzCon timing, assuming that we have one. But I'm really excited about that. I always love these stories, and anything with Anduin, I'm going to be there. And of course, we'll talk about it here. So that is the second item I have for you today. Last but not least, an interesting entry here. World of Warcraft, the official tarot deck and guidebook. It says, guide your tarot practice with this beautiful tarot deck and guidebook filled with original, never-before-seen artwork inspired by the massively popular World of Warcraft online roleplay game. It says, featuring deluxe custom artwork of iconic heroes and creatures from Azeroth, this one-of-a-kind tarot deck gives longtime World of Warcraft players a refreshing way to connect with the lore and legend of the game. Containing both major and minor arcana, the set also comes with a comprehensive guidebook explaining each card's meaning, as well as simple spreads for easy readings. Packed in a sturdy decorative gift box, this stunning tarot deck is perfect for World of Warcraft fans and tarot enthusiasts alike. 78 cards, 128-page booklet. This thing's stacked. No previews of any of the artwork yet, although they have what they're claiming is a tentative cover. It's got the cosmology on it. If there's a BlizzCon, there's gotta be a readings table, at least one, to get like an official reading at BlizzCon. Shit, even I'd stand in line for a couple hours to see one of them bad boys. This looks like a lot of fun. I'm gonna bet the artwork is gonna be insanely cool. I certainly am not one to dabble in tarot on the usual, but $28, I might bring that into my house. At the very least, you could probably frame some stuff up and make a really cool like art thing in your house. But this one also scheduled for November 5th, 2024. I don't know if this is just like the date that they throw out there and like, we'll throw it out and say November 5th. It's far enough out. And then we'll come back and change it later. But, looking at BlizzCon dates, maybe the 1st or 2nd of November, 8th or 9th, those kind of 2 weeks. That's generally what we might be looking at if we think we're having one this year. And this would be just before that, or just after that. I think that'd be really cool. See that, do some readings. Get that shit on Twitch. Do your official tarot readings on Twitch. That shit would go off like gangbusters. Know it. That one there, World of Warcraft, the official tarot deck and guidebook, coming out November 5th. I didn't give the price of the other ones, but they're usually like, $25-30 for the books. There is one other literary related item that Jez and I will talk about because I know will have a better lens on this than I. There was a book that was announced recently by Jason Schreier, who I have mixed feelings about. and it's essentially about the downfall of Blizzard. So that one's coming out, and we'll talk more about that, I think, next time. But that is something that is on the horizon here for this fine program. Coming up on a completely unrelated note, we are celebrating the 10-year anniversary of Hearthstone, which is fucking crazy. It's already been 10 years, and I well remember when it came out and we were playing it. Yeah, that was 10 years ago, but Jesus, how time flies. How does that affect us in World of Warcraft? Well, they've already announced that starting on March 11th, so just coming up here in a couple weeks, when you log into Hearthstone, you will get a Fiery Hearthstone World of Warcraft mount for free. It's a great mount. I think it costs like $20 in the store, so that's a good get. It's a cool mount. It looks crazy. It's got fire. It's a fire horse, basically, with its armor and big fiery wings, and it's a good one. It's a really good one. But there's also apparently a flying disc that looks like a Hearthstone coin, calling it the Compass Rose, and it's like the flying disc thing that we had from Pandaria, you know, like the flying Nimbus from Dragon Ball Z type thing. And Sarge, the rat, mouse, whatever you want to call it, that you see running around in Hearthstone. He's going to be a pet. Oh. That's all we need around here, another rat. I've caught a few recently. Ugh. There are a few other items that we don't quite yet know about, I don't think. There's some transmog, Reno Jackson, is that guy's name? Reno's hat. And this really cool Hearthstone tabard that actually looks amazing. It's got like this quilted detail on it. Looks super cool. And of course, a Hearthstone board to have in game. So that is coming up in March. I'm sure there'll be more details as we get closer to it. But congratulations, Hearthstone. You made it. Another drink here. We'll head into our final blessed segment of this episode. Long awaited. Your January and February trading post rating. So going back to January, had a bunch of new stuff, which was great. Starting with the time lost salamander pet that was 600 trader tenders. And remember, you know, these could come back around, so it is important to see these. So time lost salamander pet, 600 traders tenders.
I mean, it's all right. Like,
for 600 trader tenders, I gotta have something more. Now, maybe this thing does something and I'm not aware of it. It's time lost. Maybe it disappears and it comes back and there's some fourth dimensional shit going on. I don't know, but I haven't seen it. I don't know. It seems like a lot of trader tender for that. Next one, armored golden pterodax for 800 trader tender.
that's what I'm talking about. That's why he's the MVP. That's why he's the GOAT. The GOAT.
I typically don't like these pterodax looking things, but damn, that's some badass armor on that thing. And that's how you get me, because I'm a sucker for that kind of thing. Next up, the jeweled copper scarab mount for 800 trader tender.
It's the biggest piece of dog shit.
Don't come at me with the bugs. I told you, no bugs. No bugs. Next up, ancestral sky chasers totem. There's actually two. There's ancestral sky chasers totem and ancestral stonehoof totem. Big totem for the Tauren sticking out of the back. One is kind of a bluish sort of tinge to it. The other one's red. Both for 250 trader tender.
I mean, it's all right. Like,
It's okay. It's okay. I'm never gonna use them, so you know I'm not as tied to them. But they look cool. They look all right. Not offensive. Next up, Blade Master's Sun Touch Stones for 200 trader tender.
I mean, it's all right. Like,
Hey, it's a big pearl necklace, big balls on your neck. Who wouldn't want that? Next up, Ensemble Solemn Watchman's Garb. The whole thing, 650 trader tender, and it's this yeah, it's like a city watchman type thing. Hit it.
that's what I'm talking about. That's why he's the
I really like it. I don't even know that I can wear it. But it looks great. Looks fantastic. Next up, I'm going to take them in a pair. Ensemble, Vagabond Sunny Threads, and Wanderer Sunny Trappings. This is a cloak, hidden cloak combo, each for 100 trader tenders.
I mean, it's all right. Like,
It needs like just like a little trim, like a little trim going around the edge somewhere, and this would be dynamite. It's a great color. It's not like total piss yellow. It's not bad. Next up, Ensemble Waste Wander Trackers Kit, a whole ensemble, a whole big set, head to toe for 850 trader tenders.
that's what I'm talking about. That's why he's there than me. That's why he's the GOAT. The GOAT.
This might be one of the best sets in the whole game. It's this post-apocalyptic steampunk looking fucking thing. It's amazing. This is amazing. If you didn't get this when this was available in January, I'm sure that this will come back. This is a phenomenal set. This was a really, really good one. I think it's leather. I don't even think I could wear it, and I think I still bought it because it's just so great. I want to make sure that, like, I don't know, just have it. Next up, Gossamer Desert Gown for a 100 trader tenders.
I mean, it's all right. Like,
Nah, you know. The problem that I had with this was that it did not fully cover my man titties, and I just did not feel supported in that. Maybe on a different character it'd be all right, but you know, sometimes I don't want to show them things, and you know, you want to look good, and that dress just didn't quite have it. So there's your rating. Next up, High Lord's Ceremonial Drape for 50 trader tenders.
that's what I'm talking about. That's why he's there than me. That's why he's the GOAT. The GOAT.
This is a phenomenal cloak. It does need to be a little longer. All these things go to the ankles. God dang it. But love the detail, like the sun detail across the back, with sort of the chainmail at the bottom. Super cool. Next up, orange sleeved shirt for 50 trader tender.
I mean, it's all right. Like,
I mean, I think I have like this sort of raglan looking shirt in a way somewhere. Not offensive. You hardly ever see the shirts, but it's fine. Next up, we have the Sand Swept Soiree gloves. Say that shit 3 times fast. For 100 trader tender.
I mean, it's all right. Like,
Big long yellow gloves. All good. Next up, Sepia Treads of the Calawack. This is like a tufted. You got like you know, big fur tufts coming out of the top of these boots, with ropes wrapped around this the base and the top. For 50 trader tender, Sepia Treads of the Calawack.
that's what I'm talking about. That's why he's there than me. That's why he's the GOAT. The GOAT.
Gotta have them. Put them in your collection. 50 trader tender. You could trip over 50 trader tender. Put that on. Next up, Tabard of Wild Might. Big yellow tender. Big yellow tabard for 100 trader tender.
I mean, it's all right. Like,
Cost is too high. Next up, Trader's Carrot Sarong for 100 trader tender.
I mean, it's all right. Like,
Yeah, it's okay. Maybe you want to wear it around the farm. I don't know. Next up, Witch Doctor's Fetish Frame for 500 trader tender.
that's what I'm talking about. That's why he's there than me. That's why he's the GOAT. The GOAT.
This is the classic look for any kind of troll business. 1000%. Next up, Yellow Tweed Cap for 150 trader tender.
It's the biggest piece of dog shit.
Don't come at me with that 150 trader tender cost. For that little thing, no. It's not even the right color. If I'm going to be out there doing some sort of, you know, sleuthing, you know, I need a different color. Not for that kind of color. All right, next up, Copper Scarab Bulwark Shield. Looks like a big bug for 400 trader tender. I bet you know where I'm going to go.
It's the biggest piece of dog shit.
Keep that bug shit away from me. Next up, Dwarven Crown Splitter. This is a big-ass two-handed axe. Very angular, tight-knee, dwarven-y looking thing for 450 trader tender.
that's what I'm talking about. That's why he's there than me. That's why he's the GOAT.
You better have it. Next up, heavily stitched wallet offhand for 400 trader tenders. This looks like a big sack of coins maybe, but you're holding it like a turkey drumstick.
It's the biggest piece of dog shit.
I don't know what went wrong here, but for that cost, hell no. Next up, Soul Burner Bardiche. It's a pole arm for 550 trader tender. Looks very Legion-y.
I mean, it's all right. Like,
Yeah, it's okay. It's all right. Next up, Time Marshal's Carbine. This is a very fancy, Titany, dwarven-y looking gun for 500 trader tender.
that's what I'm talking about. That's why he's there than me. That's why he's the GOAT. The GOAT.
This is a badass looking rifle. I'd be proud to wield this in the World of Warcraft. Next up, a Witch Doctor's Fetish Guard. It's a shield that looks very much like the other fetish thing. A lot of fetishes here. For 400 trader tender.
That's what I'm talking about. That's why he's there than me. That's why he's the GOAT. The GOAT.
Listen, if I said the one's the GOAT, this has got to be the GOAT too. And last but not least, the bonus reward for January was something that was a little bit different. A golden mobile timepiece. Basically a big-ass bulky watch. What am I going to think about that?
It's the biggest piece of dog shit.
Come on. You're not going to give me one that's got temperature on it? No, I'm just kidding.
That's what I'm talking about. That's why he's there than me. That's why he's the GOAT. The GOAT.
I thought it was pretty cool. I know some people didn't like it, but it's different. Like, we haven't had that kind of a thing in World of Warcraft. Like, I thought it was pretty cool, and I did earn that reward. Very rare am I doing that, but I thought that was pretty cool. Well, let's move on to this month, this current month, the things that you can still get. We are commemorating the 1-year anniversary of the Trading Post. So right out, we have a mannequin charm, which they said representing the Trading Post. You get the mannequin right out there. And it is 10 trader tenders.
That's what I'm talking about. That's why he's there than me. That's why he's the GOAT. The GOAT.
You can't beat that price. You can't. Can you do much with it? No. But you can't beat that price. Next up, the X-53 touring rocket for 100 trader tender. Remember, this is a 2-passenger mount.
That's what I'm talking about. That's why he's there than me. That's why he's the GOAT. The GOAT.
This is a good mount, and these are hard to come by. So for 100 trader tender, you damn right. Next up, oh baby, we have some pets and a mount. First up is Nell, which looks like some kind of bug for 250 trader tender. It's got a red shell, red sort of carapace with black underneath. I bet you know what this is gonna be.
It's the biggest piece of dog shit.
Get that? I mean, if I saw like a whole bunch of dudes walking with me that had that pet out, I would log out. That might be the end. That might be how I cancel my sub to World of Warcraft. Next up, Bugsy for 250 trader tender. It's the same one, but it's got a slightly different coloring with pink on the back and more of a tan underneath.
It's the biggest piece of dog shit.
Get it away from me. Burn it with fire. Next up, the Friendship. So Friendship Fox, which looks to be like a flying fox mount, purpley. This looks like something out of a, I don't know, an anime. For 750 trader tender.
That's what I'm talking about. That's why he's there than me. That's why he's the GOAT. The GOAT.
This is a great mount. I bought it. It looks wrong with my warrior, but man, it's a cool mount. Next up, and this one might surprise you. We're going on armor transmogs now. This one might surprise you. The Dueler's Rosy shoulder capes. These are shoulder capes that are purple, essentially. Sort of a, I mean, purpley pink. That just go over your shoulders for 75 trader tenders. This one might surprise you.
That's what I'm talking about. That's why he's there than me. That's why he's the GOAT. The GOAT.
Because I see the potential here. We've never seen something like this before, these shoulder capes. And I could see where different coloring, maybe something different on them. Oh, baby. That's got Silverhand Arthas written all over it. And I'm here for it. Next up, I'm going to take a few all at once. The Fanciful Corsage, the Gothic Corsage, and the Rosy Corsage. 100 traders, tenders a piece. Different floral arrangements. Let's hit it.
it's all right. Like,
It's corsage. It's not for me, but you know, hey, doesn't have to be. It's okay. Next up, the Sanguine Bouquet. It's an offhand 100 trader tender.
I mean, it's all right. Like,
Yeah, I mean, you're holding a kind of a wonky bouquet of flowers. They got some nice ones in there, but then there's a bunch of dead sticks, and I don't know. It feels wrong. Next up, I'm gonna take them. You know what? I'm actually gonna take 3 of these at once. The Ensemble, the Vagabonds, Rosy Threads, the Ensemble, Wanderers, Rosy Trappings, and maybe the related Magenta Masquerade gloves. All for 100 trader tenders, and they're all sort of the same kind of, magenta, pinky, purpley color.
I mean, it's all right. Like,
A nice accent piece, but nothing to write home about. Next up, this one also might surprise you. Classic Rosy Tabard for 100 trader tender.
that's what I'm talking about. That's why he's the MVP. That's why he's the GOAT. The GOAT.
I really like this one. I can't explain why. The shape of it, the color of it, it just really works. Little details on it. Good job on this one. Next up, the Trader's Rosy Sarong for 100 trader tender.
I mean, it's all right. Like,
I mean, it's the carrot one, but rosy. So, yeah. Next up, Gossamer Magenta Gown.
I mean, it's all right. Like,
150 trader tenders for, I don't know. It's a purple skirt with a yellow top with some things on the things. On the things on them things. I don't know. Feels like it's missing something. It's almost there. Next up, Blade Masters Crimson Stones 200 trader tender.
that's what I'm talking about. That's why he's the MVP. That's why he's the GOAT. The GOAT.
If there was any set of these balls on your chest you were going to have, I mean, in game, this is the ones I'd pick. These are good. Next up, Crown of the White Rose. It's sort of a big gold crown with some upside down hearts and some flowers in the middle of them. 250 trader tender.
That's what I'm talking about. That's why he's the MVP. That's why he's the GOAT. The GOAT.
I really dig this one. I think it looks super cool. I doubt I'd ever wear it, but it looks great. Next up, Battlefield Lover's Bow. It's a cloak that looks like a big bow with a heart for 250 trader tender.
It's the biggest piece of dog shit.
That will not protect you in a battle. That will not protect you in a Battlefield Lover's Bow. That's a target. If you saw a little gnome running across the field, I don't give a shit what faction you are, you would shoot that gnome wearing that. There's no way. Absolutely not. Next up, and this one also might surprise you, Battle Wraps of the Honored Valajar. It's a head-to-toe deal for 600 trader tender.
It's the biggest piece of dog shit.
You cannot have a leather set called anything Honored Valajar. That is plate all the way. That is warrior class hall all the way. You cannot use that name for some boo-boo leather set that is not warrior or paladin or death knight, but like warriors especially. Valajar, come on now, Blizzard. I blame Steve Denuser. Next up, it's going to be divisive. Weapon transmogs. The Lost Crusaders Amethyst Battle Axe. One-handed axe for 200 trader tender.
That's what I'm talking about. That's why he's the MVP. That's why he's the GOAT. The GOAT.
It's like practically as big as a two-handed axe, and it looks amazing. So like if I had to go single-minded fury, if I had to go one-hander, this would be something I would take a look at. Next up, the Love's Bulwark shield. Looks like a giant heart inside of a giant heart for 200 trader tender.
It's the biggest piece of dog shit.
You cannot do the Care Bear stare with this shield and expect to survive. There is no way. No way. You're dead. You're dead. This ain't gonna protect shit. Next up, the Love Witch's Rosy Wand.
I mean, it's all right. Like,
It's very Sailor Moonish. It's fine. You know, it's mostly non-offensive. The next item, Twilight Witch's Gothic Scepter. 200 trader tender.
I mean, it's all right. Like,
Yeah, I mean, it's okay. It's another big heart with some details around it, and it's a wand, so it looks like you could wave it around and do some stuff. Yeah, I mean, fine. Next up, I have 2 staffs: the Love Witch's Rosy Staff and the Twilight Witch's Gothic Staff, which basically are the wands and the scepter that we just talked about, but with a longer handle for 250 trader tender.
It's the biggest piece of dog shit.
Come on, you copped out. You copped out. You basically charged 50 trader tender for a longer handle. Come on now. Come on now. Next up, and I think this one will surprise people, the fluorescent split blade two-handed sword, 250 trader tender.
That's what I'm talking about. That's why he's near me. That's why he's the GOAT. The GOAT.
I know people that really hated this. I thought it was cool. I know it's pink and it looks kind of weird when you actually look at it in 3D and whatever, but I actually thought this was pretty cool. If you saw somebody coming at you with this, you probably would be worried. I'll just say that. Next up, the lovely Rosie longbow and the lovely Gothic longbow, 300 trader tenders each. One looks very bright and sunny, the other one very dark and spooky. Here we go.
I mean, it's all right. Like,
Yeah. Needs a few more details, maybe something a little flashy. Could have gotten us there. And then the Ruby Fellfire Bulwark and the Ruby Fellfire Split Blade, those are returnees. I know I've talked about those before, and yeah, they're okay. Last but not least, the bonus reward, the Love Witches attire. This one a little bit different. Again, may surprise you, but let me tell you why.
that's what I'm talking about. That's why he's near me. That's why he's the GOAT. The GOAT.
I don't know that I have ever seen anyone, like, as a group, as happy to see and excited to see a reward as this month. People really love this attire, this Love Witches attire. People were just all over it. And of course it's not for me. Of course I don't like it in that sort of way. But people were pumped, and it was exciting to see that. And it always is awesome when people are all happy about stuff. So, you know, I got to give it to them. This is probably one that people are going to be really happy to see again and do the transmog, and I don't want to shit all over that. So that is your rating for the Love Witches attire. And those are your ratings, your final ratings for the January and February trading post in World of Warcraft. Those may not be yours, but they are mine. All right. I think I've done enough damage for one episode. My thanks to all of you for listening. And remember, you can always follow me and this show on Twitter at Berserker Rage and Unshackled_Fury, on Blue Sky at Berserker and Unshackled Fury, as well as on Twitch at Unshackled Fury and Real Berserker. You can also join our Discord, links for which are in the profile of the show on Twitter and on our bonus roll page. Feel free to contact the show with your questions, comments, or otherwise through any of those resources or on shackledfury.com. And you can find this show wherever you get your podcasts. So once again, thank you for listening. Remember to keep your swords wet and your banners high, and we'll see you next time. Farewell.